It's recording now, so just
Okay.
do
Hi,
what's
this
wrong.
is Miss Cioni. I'm going to go through a couple of the basic positions and steps that we do in dance class pretty much every day in some form or another. So I'm going to jump right into it and start with the 5 basic positions. These 5 basic positions are rooted in ballet technique, but done in all different types of dance. So I'm going to do it first facing the camera, and then I'm going to turn around with my back to the camera. If you stand with your heels together and your toes out to the side, this is your first position. When you take a step out and you have a little bit wider of a stance, this is your second position. When you bring one foot into the middle of the other foot, this is your third position. Take a step out from there is your fourth position, and close heel to toe is your fifth position. Now I'm going to turn around and do it this way. Again, heels together, toes out to the side, first position. Taking a step out, second position. Bring the heel to the middle of your standing foot is your third. Take a step out is your fourth. And close heel to toe is your fifth position.
All right.
Here you go again. One more time, just zoomed in on the feet. This is your first position. Taking a step out to the side is your second position. Heel to the middle of your foot is your third position. Taking a step out in front of you is your fourth, and heel to toe is your fifth. Okay, now I'm going to go through a few of our basic standing exercises. We do these exercises to warm up so that we can dance to go across the floor or work on center combinations. The first is a really common step. It's known as a plie. There are 2 types of plies, a demi-plie and a grand plie. A demi-plie is just a slight bend in the knees, whereas a grand plie is a little bit deeper of a bend in the knees. So this is a demi-plie. And this is a grand plie. You can take this exercise from any of the positions I just went through. So for example, if I was in second position, I could take a demi-plie or a slight bend in the knees, or a grand plie, a little bit deeper of the bend in the knees. After we usually do our plies, we warm up our feet, and we do that by doing an exercise called a tendu. Basically what a tendu is, you're extending your foot to the front, to the side, or to the back. You're pointing through that foot and you're just keeping it on the ground. So this is a tendu. You can take it to the side, or you can take it to the back. Similar to a tendu, we also have a dégagé. It's pretty much the same exercise, except you do a slight brush. The foot comes off the ground slightly. Little confusing, but tendu stays on the ground, dégagé comes off the ground. Finally, I'm going to go through what is called a battement, which is basically a fancy name for a kick. We can do our battements stationary, or from time to time we will do our battements traveling across the floor. So when I say battement, all I mean to do is kick the leg. You can kick the leg to the front, to the side, or back behind you.
Good.
Usually during our class we do some exercise across the floor. It means we start on one side of the stage and we do movement that travels us over to the other side of the stage. It's extremely important to remember to pick a line. Our first line usually lines up about here. Our second line lines up in the middle. And our third line lines up closest to the back curtain. Once you're in a line, you have to remember to wait your turn. An example of a step that would travel you across the floor is a battement. I just did battements or kicks stationary. This is how a battement would look traveling across the floor. I would go all the way to the other side, and when I was done, I would get back in line and wait for my turn to come back over to the other side.
Good.
These are our ballet bars. We can use them for some exercises if we're doing ballet warm-ups. We can also just use them to stretch. If you're doing ballet exercises at the ballet bar, it's important to remember that you do every exercise 2 times. The first time we will always start with our left hand on the bar. No matter what side you're standing on, you will always start with your left hand on the bar. So I would start, your with my left hand on the bar, facing the back curtain. Just say I was doing a plie. When the exercise is over, I turn around, I hold the bar with my other hand, and I repeat the exercise. When I'm done with that, I would turn back around and start a new exercise. So you constantly switch, left hand holding the bar, right hand holding the bar. We can also use the ballet bar for stretching purposes. It's important to note that they do adjust. So you need to make sure it's at a good height for you so that you can hold your leg on that bar and be comfortable. If I am doing a bar stretch, I would extend my leg out on the bar and I would listen to the teacher as she talked me through a series of stretches. I would stretch towards the leg, I would stretch away from the leg, I would pull back in the hip. Whatever the teacher would say to do, I would try to the best of my ability to follow along with her. The last portion of class usually consists of us doing a little mini dance or a combination. When it's time to do our combination, it's important to remember to stay in your spot. Everyone's going to be dancing around you, so you have to stay in your spot and be aware of your personal space. You can move in the area surrounding you, but if that's where you're standing, you're not going to move your dancing all around the stage unless the choreography calls for it. But this is Miss Cioni. I hope this helps, and I'll see you soon.